Hello, today I'm trying to get another recording of my short profile. I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts at the University of Humanities Studies in Vietnam in 1979 and completed my MBA studies with the University of Hull in 1996 in Singapore, as well as a doctoral degree in Paris as France in 2018. In terms of career, I was court interpreter in English, French, and Vietnamese at the Vietnamese court, Singapore courts, and Switzerland courts. I also have been teaching as a professor in marketing and communication at UBIS Geneva and researcher with the Globethics as a pool of experts, as well as a fellow at Asian Dialogue Society. Currently, I'm a Secretary General of the VNTU Vietnamese Teachers Union Global Outreach, Vietnam Hope Institute, and researcher at UPEC and whole alumni. I'm very glad to be accompanying you in your studies with UBIS from now onwards. Looking forward to have some interaction with you. Thank you. I wish to share with you one work that I've been doing on reflections on change about Vietnam's integration. The title is Transformative Power of Ethics Education, a case study of Vietnam, presented at the Conference on Ethics and Values at the Heart of Quality Education in 2022 with Globethics. The reflections is about the dynamics of change affecting values education, spiritual dimensions, values deriving from the three spiritual traditions, the Taoist way of life, Confucian virtues, Buddhist wisdom, and the cult of ancestors as family values and celestial harmony according to Confucian philosophy. The change that affects society was due to wars and migration, the polarization of world politics that is the source of ideological conflicts, and the economic and human effects of globalization. The impacts of change can be internal as well as external. Internally, it could be culture, language, society, education and family values, jobs and standards of living. And external impacts can be due to war, migration, environmental, climate change, and globalization. So it could affect on a personal level in the terms of personal transformation. It could affect the social in terms of social transformation. For example, in the case of Vietnam, Vietnam became communist after 30 years of struggling against colonialism and communism. An impact on international integration can be also positive in the sense that Vietnam now has integrated into the UN family and part of the global network. So coping with change is about the Vietnamese, how they undergone many changes and how the cause and effects of change has affected traditions, values, beliefs, spirituality, and ethics in the modernization process of Vietnam during the 20th century, and how Vietnamese people cope with these changes. So the project that I want to propose today is about building a Vietnam Hoc study curriculum. Who would benefit from this curriculum? As the mission of the Vietnam Hope Institute is to to provide learning resources on Vietnamese studies. In my view, the beneficiaries should be teachers who are interested in Vietnamese language and culture, students who wish to learn about one's own cultural identity, and global citizens who are engaged in intercultural interactions with business or social partners from East or Southeast Asia. The learning tools are in terms of self-learning materials and workshop discussions. How do I plan this project in terms of objective, action plan, and outputs? So the research objective is to determine criteria for a value-based education based on Vietnamese ethos. The output would be a collection for Vietnamese studies, another form of a Vietnam ethics series, the setting up of a Vietnam Research Institute to perform these researches, and to provide a global discussion forum for Vietnamologists or people who are interested in studying about Vietnam. The objective is about to revive Vietnamese spiritual and ethical values for harmony and peace. The second objective is to integrate the diaspora Vietnamese scholars to the mainstream education inside Vietnam, and to promote the Vietnamese spirit to a wider international circle. So the clips that I propose to include in the objectives is why ethics matters. One article is about the voice of teachers bridging the gap, replying to the need of domestic teachers in Vietnam about teaching. And in terms of personal story, I propose the Vietnamese perspective coming home, my reflections on encounters in Vietnam Ethics series volume number 3. In terms of action plan, after setting up a Vietnam Hoc Research Institute, I also have set up a global network of Vietnamese experts that includes also the Vietnamese diaspora as well as international experts to accompany teachers inside the country. We also provide a global discussion forum to promote the Vietnamese spirit to a broader international arena, and we propose book reading, introduction, like the book of a very important book written by Professor Nguyễn Tiến Hưng on the history of the period 1955 to 1975, which is still very an event that still many people are involved and care for. In terms of output, I propose an audio series of Vietnam Hoc learning materials on Vimeo, co-publications on Vietnam ethics with Globethics, capacity building program for teachers and members of VNTU International, and a catalog of SBI product and services. So here I propose to include a clip on cultural integration, training of trainers for teaching foreign literature in Vietnam, and also a series on language and culture for Vietnamese in learning from other cultures. And the catalog will be about the Vietnam Hoc curriculum. The network of Vietnam experts will provide documentaries, films, articles, books, and projects. In this presentation, I would propose a clip on Rêveur, a documentary realized by NVP Production Philippe Nicolet, who went to Vietnam and realized this film with my accompaniment, with my support. I also have some Vimeo showcases on the different publication and audio series that accompany learners. So one of the example here is the Catalogue of Product 2021 with a very typical artifact from Vietnamese civilization, the culture of Dong Sơn, it seems to me. And this is realized in 2021 with the help of a Vietnamese artist who has provided also a series of very beautiful paintings in lacquerware. I'm also proud to share with you some articles written by teachers, which I name Voices of Teachers Bridging the Gap. So among the articles that we have provided to reply to the needs of Vietnamese teachers inside the country is about Vietnam and the ASEAN Charter, on Erasmus and higher education in Vietnam, on sustainable development education, on crime prevention through ethics education, on audit and transparency for governance, and on preserving traditions and values for the overseas community. In terms of the collection, there are a few ideas that I would like to share. One is why ethics matters. The second one is ethics education for sustainability. The third one is comparative Han-Viet philosophy studies. The fourth one is Buddhist practices in Vietnam. Fifth one is Zen traditions and practices. Sixth one is sharing common global values. All these will be in the curriculum that Vietnam Hoc program will be running as of January 2024 with the help of a few teachers and professors who are interested in that. In terms of timeline, I propose a work plan to build an executive certificate for the Vietnam study program, as well as continue to enforce the partnership with other Vietnamese research institutes in the world. We also plan to have workshops on Asian values in the new context of ASEAN for fundraising purposes. In short, I would like to present my short bio, which I have already recorded at the beginning of this presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye.